Right, we're coming back for a part 2 on the DR. Videos and stuff are going to be pretty slow at the moment, purely because I'm trying to sort out this space to actually make it into a workshop. And I've started digging out the front to put in a hard stand in to make working on stuff easier. But we shall prevail. I'm going to start today. Just going to put the car back on. I've gone through it and got all the jet sizes out and whatnot, so that's going to help me get a baseline and stuff with the tuning. I've got my brake stay, which last time I took it out, this fell off. Basically because the bike was sort of, well, I imagine it was in pieces. Everything was like loose. And I've been out on it a few times and it was fine. But I went out on it and the front part rattled loose, went down, span round, broke the mud guard, put a tiny tear somewhere along there on my new seat, well, new seat cover. And yeah, it could have been pretty hairy because the cable could have wrapped up in the rear wheel and locked up, but it didn't, so that's cool. So I'm going to get that, chuck that back on. I'm still waiting on some little grease washer things for it, but I can put it on for the time being. Put the new rear brake cable on, put the car back on. And then an absolute palaver with the forks. They were in a shop for a month waiting for new fork seals to be done. They said it would be 2 weeks. And basically I got bored, so I went and collected them, put them in at another shop, and the guy had them done in 2 hours. I did find out the forks, I think they're off a CR. I think CR 250, maybe a 480, it's an AT CR anyway. The studs are wrecked, so I've ordered some new studs, got some titanium ones coming. So I'll do a little video, well, it'll probably be in this one actually, of swapping them over, hopefully, if they come out. And right, let's get to it. Let's start putting this back together. Right, so there's the exhaust after I welded the new stud on. The old stud was stripped out, so I put a new M6 stainless stud on. Put a new wing nut on it. I couldn't use the original because obviously it's a different thread, being American. So new wing nut, put an eye lock on it, should be okay. Should still have the adjustability there for the old super trap as well. So. Right, I'm just going to stick the car back on there. Right, so we've got the carburetor bolted back up. We've got good throttle, so that's all good. Just bolting the airbox back on. It's a nightmare. You still got to take like every little bracket off on this bike to actually be able to take the carb off. So I'm just going to finish that now and then it will be back together. Right, we're nearly there. The carb's on. You can see I've got just a motocross fuel hose there, but because it's an aftermarket carb, see it loops through. I'm getting a pinch. I need to get a braided line so it doesn't pinch, but that might be causing a bit of running issue. The fact that when it's really wanting the fuel, I mean, it doesn't look bad there in the camera, but that is actually pretty pinched. So that probably isn't helping. I might try and put a cable tie around it or something just to try to keep it shape until I do get another fuel line. But that might be one of the issues there. Braided fuel line, ultimate hackery. Seems to be doing the job, keeping it shape. We'll try that out. Right, now I'm just gonna put the brake stay back on. I've got these little like grease bearing things to go in there. They're basically like a cupped washer to keep the grease in them. I'm still waiting for them, so I'm not going to ride it. I'm just going to put that on, and then I can just drop it and put that on. The front, it looks like it goes into like a threaded section, which I probably can just Loctite that in. I thought it was going to come through the frame, but it doesn't. So I've just got to prise the brake lever off, put my new cable wherever that's gone, my new old stock cable. Well, I guess it's not new, it was used. But that was a bit of a find, otherwise I would have had to have ordered something from the States. So I'm going to chuck that on. Right, we're all loosely on. Annoyingly, when I straightened this out, after it fell off, I think I straightened it out too well. I think it might have to have a kink in it because it's getting a bit tight to the tyre there. Just put some Loctite on the brake stay bolt. Probably not going to be able to hold the camera and put that in. Hopefully this means it won't rattle out again. I see me compare these in that time lapse as well. This is off an SP, so it was slightly different, it's a bit longer. That one had a short throw on it, so I put that one back on instead of just using this one. You also saw me reuse a split pin, which you shouldn't do, but I didn't have one that fitted, so I just had to reuse. It's alright, it can't slip out anyway because the pin goes outwards and it can't actually come out, so it'll be fine. We haven't got to worry about it. Right, we've just found a new issue. Classic. I was just adjusting the chain tension, and I thought check the wheel bearing, you know, so I don't over tighten it and stuff. Anyway, there's loads of play there, and I was like, wheel bearing? I was tightening it up a bit more. The swing arm, I don't know if it's loose because I don't have my big socket set here, or whether the bearings are knackered. It's probably the bearings. But yeah, so that's going to be another stage to, well, another thing to do. Yep. Right, I've just extracted the old studs using the old stud extractors. Just chucking in the new titanium ones now with a bit of Loctite blue so they don't come out. Just throwing the forks back on, just going to throw the front wheel back on, and then we've got a bike again. Right, let's do this. Right, we're all back together. I have a manual and I did the torque settings on all the axles, and when I actually correctly done up the swing arm, it got rid of the bearing play. Both wheels are now torqued up to spec and everything feels nice and tight, so that was good. I didn't have to go buy bearings, but I've got them now anyway, so in the future if I need to swap stuff, it's all good and I've got it in stock. I'm going to call it quits now. Next time we're going to be taking it out. We'll probably take it out and see its running issues, and then from there on we'll probably do a tune up then and go from there.